Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my May version of the District Governor newsletter. Hope everyone is being safe and that your communities are beginning to open up. What I would like to do is talk about first the District Governor Line update. The District Governor Line meets every month, as I've talked about in the past. I'll just talk about some of the things that we talked about at that meeting. We do have a number of open positions yet. The first one is a public image chair, and this one is getting to be very important. I think we missed a great opportunity with all the work that our district did and the clubs did with regards to the COVID-19 fundraiser and grant usage. We did a lot of great work in our communities, and we tried to get some information out to the local media, to the local clubs to use, but it would have been nice to have a coordinator to help all the clubs and help the district get information out when we do these great projects, especially on a district-wide project. So we are talking to an individual about heading up this committee. With that regard, we are looking for all the clubs to list in DAC-DB your public image or marketing chair, so that we have a list at the district level of who we have contacts throughout the district at the clubs level to communicate with. So if you do have a public image committee and a chairperson for that, please list that individual in DAC-DB. If you do not have a public image committee or chair, I would strongly encourage you to take a look at adding that to your positions. John Townsend is looking for someone to take over the role of the Global Grant Scholar chair. John has done a great job for many, many years on that, and it's just time for him to pass on the baton. So if you are on the committee now and have interest in taking over that responsibility, let John or myself know. I know that John said that he's willing to work, a year or so to work through the transition. Youth Protection Officer, I think I may have someone lined up for that. And what that person is responsible for is at the district level, making sure that we comply with our youth protection policy. Rotary Youth Exchange has its own, youth compliance officer, but the district level at the district doesn't have one. This is for things like RILA. This is for things like, students attending club visits, students attending, a district conference and things like that. So we may have that filled. Another open position is a stewardship committee. And what the stewardship committee is responsible for is they take a look at the district grants and the global grants and make sure that we're following the rules with regards to compliance and reporting with those. So we're looking to fill that role also, and I do have some names I'm thinking about filling that role. We also, what do we do here? Okay, we talked about the Rotary International initiatives. Basically, Rotary International for the remaining of 2020 will not be doing travel. They're going to be doing everything via virtual meetings. And if you understand, Rotary International is international, and you have individuals from all over the world that would be coming to Rotary headquarters in Evanston, Illinois. So they're just being very, very protective of that. Also, what I wanted to read here is President Mark Maloney's 4 key initiatives with regards to dealing with COVID. I know periodically I get email or a question about, Steve, what's the district's policy, or what should our club's policy be? And here is President Mark Maloney's 4 key principles that were approved by the RI board. So I think they make sense for us to follow here also. Number 1 is that health and safety of all participants. So again, health and safety of all participants. Number 2, no in-person meeting or event is to be mandatory. Number 3, conveners consider health concerns at in-person meetings. And conveners are the persons that are responsible for putting on those meetings. Number 4, conveners comply with local directives. So I think those 4 make sense, and if you follow those, that will help you in determining, what you do with club meetings, because that's where you get the question the most is, Steve, do we hold a club meeting or don't we, and what's the policy? So again, health and safety of all participants is number 1. No in-person meeting or event shall be mandatory. Conveners consider the health concerns at in-person meetings. And 4, conveners comply with local directives. So I think that's all very good. I want to talk about the district website. The district website, in particular with regards to the grants, has been updated significantly in the last month. And a lot of that has to do with our getting more active in global grants, which I'll talk about here a little bit later. If you are dealing with a district grant or a global grant or a district project fund grant, when you go to that section of our website, you'll see that it's laid out a little bit differently, and hopefully it makes more sense as to the layout of that. In May, we had our global grant training seminar. That was done virtually in conjunction with District 6270. We were going to hold that at our district conference, which we had to cancel because of COVID-19. So it was rescheduled, and I'm very pleased and impressed. We had 31 attendees from our district representing 20 clubs. So there seems to be a lot of interest in global grants, and we do have a lot of what's called DDF, district designated funds, available for those global grants. So I was very pleased that we had that much attendance. Then I'll talk a little bit about the zone district governor meetings. All districts are part of the zone, and those are approximately 28 to 30 districts make up the zone. And we've been having monthly meetings with our zone leadership. And just a couple things that we talked about at this zone meeting for district governors was this USAID program. I sent information to all the global grant attendees on that. It's a new program that RI has put out there, and it is part of the global grants. It's a 3-year program working on strengthening the relationship between the United States and Eastern Europe. So that's a new type of global grant out there. Again, I sent the information on that to the attendees of the Global Grant Training Seminar. So if interested, please contact them. Also, the big thing we talked about is the World Fund is out of money for this fiscal year, 2019 to 2020. What the World Fund is the money that you as Rotarians give to the Rotary Foundation. Okay, half of that in 3 years comes back to the district to be used for district and global grants. The other 50% goes into the World Fund to be used for matching. And because of all the activity this year, and in particular with the COVID-19, the monies for this year are all used up and no longer available. So if a project has been in progress and approved, those monies are available, but all new projects for global grants will most likely come out of the 2020-2021 year. And we're going to talk about a couple of our global grants that we are participating in. So with regards to the district governor line update, the district governor line, which is myself as district governor, Scott Nafla as district governor-elect, Schroeder as district governor nominee, now Dave Anderson as district governor nominee designate, and also immediate past district governor Ann Fugi, we all meet. And we approved the use of district designated funds for, number one, District 6270 is putting on a global grant for Guatemala for water and sanitation for a hospital there. So we approved using $20,000 of district designated funds for that project. We also approved $10,000 of district designated funds to go toward end year now. So, and even with those $30,000 allocation, we still have about $100,000 left in our district designated funds to be used for. Sorry about that. Mary, my wife, went down to Chicago to pick up our son and grandson for the week, and I didn't think they'd be home for another hour. And all of a sudden, they walked in the door. So I'm going to try and regain my thoughts here and continue on. We were talking about the district designated funds. So we still have about $100,000 left. That's going to be going forward into District Governor-elect Scott's year. And again, with the number of people that attended the global grant training, I'm really impressed with what we have for opportunities going forward. So speaking of the District 6270 global grant for Guatemala, they're looking for 2 clubs from our district to participate at $2,500 in this project. It's a big project. It's a great project. And also what they do is District 6270 has done a lot of work in Guatemala over the years. Every year in the spring, they go down to Guatemala to take a look at the work that's been done and the use of their funds. And because of the district's $20,000 contribution and hopefully 2 clubs contribution, they are going to ask that representatives of 6220 go down to Guatemala with them for that visit. Now, that expense is out of your own personal pocket, but it's a great opportunity to go down there and see what Rotary can do in a global project, and hopefully come back with information to encourage other clubs to participate. This will be for a 2020-21 global grant year. 6270 is also working on another global grant, expanding and upgrading a cath lab at a hospital in India. And they're looking for $3,000 from our clubs in our district. So it could be 3 clubs at $1,000 a piece. It could be 2 at $1,500. It could be 1 at $3,000. But if you would be interested in a project like that, there's an opportunity. Let me know and I will get you information on that. I also forwarded that to the individuals that attended the global grant training. So there's 2 global grant opportunities partnering with 6270 that I think is a great catapult for us to get into that arena again. Then it's not too early to consider nominating someone from your club to be district governor for the 2023-24 year. So I would ask that you take a look at who's been a great leader in your club. Talk to them about the opportunity, talk to your board about the opportunity, and nominate them by notifying myself who that individual would be. I have started a list of individuals that I have had contact with during the year, and also secured some names from other Rotarians throughout the district that would make potentially great district governors. So we do have a list started, and but I would strongly encourage clubs to take that forward. With regards to RYE, Rotary Youth Exchange Program, if you have not heard, the district has decided not to have RYE this coming year for 2020-21 due to the COVID-19 and all the international travel. Now, our district is a part of a group of districts with regards to RYE that meets through an entity called Central States. And all the districts in Central States have made that decision also. And I would anticipate very shortly that Rotary International will probably follow suit. I have not seen anything on that, so if anybody else has, please let me know. With regards to RYLA, the plan is at this point to still hold RYLA. An email will be coming out to all the clubs from our RYLA committee. My response to them when they asked, Steve, do we have this or do we hold this or don't we hold this? My response was, I think we plan on it because it's in October. It's October 2nd through the 4th that it's being held. So that's quite a ways out yet. I said 3 things that I'd be concerned about. One is that the kids need to be safe. Okay, going back to the four points that Rotary International President Mark Maloney made reference to. We need to follow Camp Manitowish's safety practices. Again, that's one of the things that President Mark Maloney mentioned. And then finally is, I said we need to make sure that if we need to cancel RYLA at the last minute, that the district and clubs are not harmed financially. So expect communication from the RYLA committee regarding that program coming up. Transparency. Just want to remind all the club members, that the district financial statements and district board meetings are published in DAC-DB to the presidents of your clubs. So they have the ability to bring that information forward to your boards and to your membership. So I'm trying to be more transparent in providing that information to the clubs via the club presidents. Now, maybe some more fun stuff. District 6270, they're the district Madison, La Crosse, Wisconsin Dells area. They are going to hold their district conference, so it's going to be virtual. So if anyone is interested in attending their virtual conference, district conference, it's June 20th from 7 in the morning until noon. So if interested, let me know. I have information about what their program is going to be. But again, District 6270 to our south, 6250 is holding their district conference virtually. But 6250, 6270, and 6220, those three districts encompass most of Wisconsin. And, the district governors have been collaborating quite well, and it's been fun to do. Then the Rotary Club of Green Bay has come up with a service and civility program. And what that is clubs, individuals can order signs to put up in your front yards. And I just want to read how this all started with the Rotary Club. One day in May, Green Bay Rotarian Brant Bergerons received a text from his daughter who lives south of Madison. She sent him a photo of a pandemic-related yard sign stating kindness is not canceled. Again, kindness is not canceled. With the Rotarian clubs, with a Kiwanis Club, I'm having a bad day, with the Kiwanis Club's logo on it. The light went off and Bergeron approached the Green Bay Rotary Club with a proposal to sell service and civility signs to individual Rotarians and or their respective clubs to reiterate the Rotary mantra of service above self and promote civility in our communities, depicted by an elbow bump. In light of what our entire nation has been experiencing the past week or so, civility is more important now than ever. If your Rotary Club or individual Rotarians would like to order any of the yard signs, you are to contact Brent Bergeron at BERGERON at dcopy, so it's dcopy.net, or you can text him at 715-347-2736 for pricing and order information. I think that's a great way to show support for our communities and get Rotary's name out there. So, and thank you to Brant and for the Rotary Club of Green Bay for coming up with that idea. There's been talk in the past. I know this is getting long, and I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be, getting done with my Rotary year, but I've got a lot of stuff going on. There's been talk about Rotary clubs becoming 501c3s versus your current 501c4. The difference is a 501c3 not-for-profit is a charity, and and businesses may be more willing to give money to the Rotary Club if it's a charity versus we're currently a 501c4, which is a service organization. If your club is interested in pursuing that route, let me know, because I have a contact information for a gentleman up in Upper Michigan that has gone through converting their club from a 501c4 to a 501c3. Again, this is probably more for the boards than the whole membership, but I just throw that out there because this is a great forum. Rotary fellowships. I've talked about that in the past, and believe it or not, every once in a while we do read the Rotarian, and there's a nice layout in this last month's Rotarian regarding Rotary fellowships. And I'll read what it says. Rotary fellowships are international groups whose members share a common interest. Being part of a fellowship is a way to make friends around the world, explore a hobby or profession, and enhance your Rotary experience. Fellowships are open to Rotarians, family members, program participants, and alumni. So what I'll do is I will scan this and attach this to the email that includes this video, because it lists all kinds of fellowships that you can become a part of. And I think that's it. Like I said, an awful lot of stuff going on. We have a lot of energy going forward. I look forward to having the same energy here in June. Going into District Governor-elect Scott's year. So thank you for listening to me for almost 20 minutes. It's been a pleasure being your district governor. I have one more month left to serve, but I respect and appreciate all you've done. Be safe and have a great June.